Good morning, everyone. This is Crystal from Man Mortgage and Paula.
Hi.
And we are coming to you today with our weekly live video. And today we are going to be interviewing Dean with K&K on his home inspection today on this duplex. And so if you have any questions and you're watching, feel free to comment in and we will ask him. So Paula's we're gonna kind of follow him around today, and Paula's gonna ask him some questions. And so here we go. Oh wait, I'm gonna turn the camera around. Sorry. Hello.
Oh,
There's that. We're still learning.
Stay with us.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Hi, I'm Paula, Earl. I'm with Remax Rock and Roll Realty. We have a special guest today, Dean Kamikos. He's with K&K Consultants. And we also have another one for you also. She's new. She's the first national certified woman here in the area. So her name's Tanya. We're going to go meet her. She's been working with Dean for about 7-8 months now, and I've used Dean for a long time, so I'm glad to introduce you to him because he's really good and very thorough, and we'll pick it apart and show you everything that's wrong with it. So,
all right.
Here he is. He's coming right now.
Here he is, Dean.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah. How are you?
Okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, good. I always give you a hug.
I appreciate that. Early morning hugs, always good.
So this is my friend Dean Kamikos, and he's with K&K Consultants. They're out of Orfino, well, Kamei.
Kamei and Lewiston, we have 2 offices.
Yeah.
So,
And Dean's been an inspector for almost 20
for 20 years.
20 years.
Yes,
We
indeed.
started out together.
Yeah, that's
so
exactly
we've been
right. Yes.
working together for
a long time.
For a long
yeah,
time.
I was thinking about that fact. I was remembering it was you, Barb, and Anna over at that first office.
Yeah.
Right off of Bridge Street there.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Been a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love to use Dean because he's very, very thorough, and he's very honest, and you just do a really, really good job. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
For the sellers and the buyers, because we want to know what's going on with the house.
Correct.
So we don't want anything hidden.
Correct.
You know, it's important to know those things and try to negotiate and work them out in the purchase and sale agreement, you know, one way or another. But for the buyer, it's good to know, and for the seller, it is too.
And that's a key element of the whole process, as I've explained over the years. We're not here to destroy or tear apart a property.
Yeah.
We're going to equally say what's good and what's not good too. And so, yeah, as some people go, well, you're going to kill that transaction. Well, no, I can't kill anything. The home is the home. I didn't change it when I got here. I didn't live in it. I didn't build it.
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. And that's why I try to explain it.
It is what it is.
That's right. I'm merely identifying what's there. And so with older properties or new, but particularly with older properties, this one's a little older, it's 66, I think. You're going to have a certain set of issues with it that we understand are going to be there, but that doesn't make the whole house not a good house.
Yeah.
It just means there are certain issues that are going to need attention and should be corrected.
And some things have to be addressed.
Absolutely
Like
correct.
this one in particular. We have a Federal Pacific panel box.
Which today we actually really will get to see, right?
I got distracted.
we got distracted last time.
Okay.
We got
Yeah,
distracted.
we did.
All right, that's good.
So
Yeah.
we're going to go in and we're going to have you show us a little bit
Sure.
some of the things that you look for
Mm-hmm.
and that we should be concerned about. And also like life expectancies on the furnace. I
Of
love that you know
equipment
all
and-
that and you just bam, bam, bam right off the top of your head.
Sure.
Dean's also really good. I like using him because a lot of them are able to fit in crawl spaces. And
Yes,
so
tight
And clearly,
he can fit in
Yeah,
crawl
yeah.
spaces really good.
Dean's
So
got
when
it
you
down.
have one,
Yes.
He goes- and
As
he
I
goes
like
in.
to say, yes, I am the right size for my job.
thank you for eating right, Dean. We appreciate it.
Yes.
You're a perfect fit.
The fit. Okay, let's head on this direction.
Okay.
So one of the first
Oh,
things.
we're already locked out.
You want to this for me? Are you right there?
Oh,
No time.
sometimes you get locked out of the house. Even when it's
Hey,
vacant.
it happens.
Yeah, Dean's the guy for an inspector. I've used him for 20 years. He does 99.9% of them. So we have a really good relationship. And he just works really good. He's just really thorough. He turns on everything, checks everything. checks.
All the appliances that are staying with the home will be checked. This is Tanya. She works for me.
Tanya.
Our first nationally certified female inspector in the valley.
Yay! Woo! And
Girl power.
yeah, woo!
But I couldn't have had a better instructor.
And what was your last name?
And part of that, people go, well, how come you turned on all 4 burners and the boiler simultaneously? We're actually testing, yes, the unit, but the breaker. Because electrically, it has to be able to hold that power. Okay, and so a lot of times we'll have them flip out the breakers, and so we know we've got an issue electrically with the piece of equipment. And in this case, washer, dryer are staying, so she'll be testing that, the refrigerator, all the baseboard heaters, water heaters, etc. So all that good stuff. But let's head on over here to the utility room.
Okay, and sorry. Ooh, sorry about that. We got a poor internet connection and we lost you for a second. We're back. Okay, sorry about that. Thanks for being patient. Okay, we're back.
Okay, Chris?
And we're back.
All right, so one of the first things we do, and as I was saying, Paula and many of the real estate agents now know to look for right away, is the power panel. All right,
Yes.
This one here is called the Federal Pacific Electric Power Panel. It's called a stab lock. They're known to be unsafe. It becomes a material fact in most of these transactions now. And the big issue with these, back in the early 80s, federal government got involved. There was too many fires involved with this particular panel, and another bad panel is called the Zinsco power panel. And so, although it's a misnomer that they were recalled, they really actually weren't recalled, but the company was sued out of business.
And they went
because-
bankrupt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that kind of ended all the lawsuits involved with that. And then in this case, of course, we're going to get around to this older Bradford White hot water heater. We enumerate what the make, model, serial number of the equipment. So in the report, we'll have the make, model, serial number of all the equipment that stays with the home.
I love that you do that because you're really detailed. I mean, not everybody does that. It's as detailed as you. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not. No.
Yeah, and they also don't educate you as much.
Right.
I mean, you go through the reason I love working with you, Dee, because the reason I love the education part that you give me because there's always something new.
Correct.
I'm always learning something new from you. So,
That's
in 20 years,
well, that's
we built quite the relationship.
right. Well, but to me, that's a big part of my job is educating my consumer. The consumer needs to know what they've got, and is that safe or is that unsafe? Because here's a big problem with the process, and I think people get confused about it. An inspection includes basically 3 things that I am doing. It's safety, it is the structural integrity, and is it healthy? Those are the 3 things I'm focused on. It's not a quote-unquote code inspection.
And it's a big concern to me too because I want the sellers to be able to provide a nice home for the buyers, and I want the buyers to be able to get into a healthy, safety.
Yeah, safe environment,
Yes.
and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So that's the real reason behind
So I'm glad we're on the
inspection
same
process.
page.
Yeah, we are. Perfect. That's great. All right, so that's a big part of that.
Yeah.
Crystal, you want us to go to some other space, or what would you like to go to
So
next?
some of the things I think like sometimes we have a couple different heating sources.
Mhm.
So this house has a few. They
Mhm.
have the wall heat units,
Mhm.
we have the baseboard heaters, and then we have a gas forced air furnace that they
Okay.
replaced all of them.
Okay.
So I know you haven't been through it yet, but that's what you'll find.
Okay.
So I just want to maybe talk a little bit about the safety.
Right. Okay. So
hazards.
for instance, with the gas forced air furnace. Okay. So I'll be pulling up a gas leak detector. All right. So when we get to that furnace, we'll be operating it. We'll check for the safety aspect. First, does the furnace itself have all the safety items it's supposed to have? All right. So we'll check for that. Then we're going to check for gas leaks and carbon monoxide. Now, this being we're over here in the Washington side, we're supposed to have carbon monoxide detectors here in the home, and I
On
have to
every
look at
layer.
on each level, correct, as well as the smoke detectors, which is supposed to be each bedroom and in the adjoining hallway.
Great. I think that's important to know because all of them are required.
Correct. In Washington State, now please tell me in Idaho, I don't think it's the same, but I put it down in my report the same way. But Washington is a requirement, and I don't know if Idaho is.
We just make it happen. I think it's important, and again, it's a safety.
It's
You know,
exactly, and that's why I put it in the.
You don't want
report.
anybody falling asleep longer than what they really need to do.
Correct. Yeah. Waking up dead is usually not the way you
Not
want
good.
it.
It breaks the deal.
That's a deal breaker.
Nobody's happy.
Oh boy, yeah, that went bad.
It's not a win-win for nobody. It's a bummer deal.
You got that right. One of the things, Chris, if you wanted to come around the corner, it'll be enumerated. Not that it really makes a big deal to us, but Tanya's going to enumerate dings and bangs and stuff.
Things
It's an
that
older
you
home.
wouldn't see normally. I mean, people
Correct.
sometimes don't notice those things because they're looking at the big things.
Correct.
And so
Looking at the
it's
big
nice that
picture.
you point out those little
Right, and
details.
it'll be there, it'll be in the report, it won't be on the summary page that Paula and the agents around here generally are looking for from me, which is kind of the short, or it could be very long, list
Right.
of deficiencies
And recommended.
and recommendations for repairs and replacement. And
That's what I really like about you also, because you do a very thorough job summarizing and doing recommendations.
Right.
And filling those out
And,
thoroughly.
and
so
that's
we know.
really important for them because the report itself is 33 to 34 pages long. Most
Yeah.
people are like, oh my God, I'm not going to read that whole thing.
Right.
And so that's why we extract those important.
And nor do they want to.
Nor do they want to. Right. For instance, now here's a
And the
simple-
truth shall set you free.
Yes, and very good. And so come on over here, Crystal. I'm going to show you a safety.
All right.
This power panel is a safety hazard, but you
Okay.
see that cover's missing. All right.
Okay.
That's 240 volts. If a child puts their finger in that cover that's just missing, simple thing, that's going to be a bad day.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So that'll be enumerated in the report as one of the
Okay.
safety hazards.
Good to
Okay?
know,
Simple
good to know.
Fix.
Right.
Just put the cover back on, but for right now, that shows up under the safety hazard section.
Okay.
So-
Awesome.
So we'll just take a walk about real quick, and we'll talk a little bit about the wall heaters.
We'll test these. They're old school wall heaters.
Okay.
So we'll run them. I've already felt that I already know it just operated because I can feel it. All right. So we'll come down here, and I can feel the heat's already kicking on. But we have to run them, and here we are in the dead of the summer. Nobody's happy about me having to do this, but this is part of the job. So we kick these
But they
on.
will be if it was.
In the wintertime, they're going to be real happy to know that
Yes.
that actually functions. So, but on these old ones, this is a 240 volt style unit. All right, so that means I'm going to have associated breakers over there, technical part of it, but we're going to let a lot of these operate at the same time. Again, we want to find out, is the circuit going to be functional come the dead of the winter when we know we've got these all on?
And we want to make
It's
sure
gonna
that
work.
the temperature, the thermostat is the temperature that it says.
Correct, correct. And so again, Tanya will be using one of these devices, thermal probe that we use. And so very quickly, we just can check and see what kind of a temperature we're getting out of the unit. And if it's not coming up to a correct temperature, then we know something's not right with the unit. And we'll put a little, in our case, we put a little red sticker on whatever we find is deficient or defective. And so people go like, okay, well, where is whatever we called out?
It's easy to identify that way. You're just like, where's all the red stickers? Those are
Right.
the problem issues.
Correct.
So.
And the humor in that is people all the time go to me, and I know it happens to you too. Dean, do you remember my house? No, I don't remember your house. I remember last week. No, I still don't remember your house.
I don't understand.
I know you think that I'm supposed to remember. No, I don't. But you know, the funny part of it is, I'll come in 4, 5, 7 years later, and then lo and behold, I'll find one of my red stickers on something. And go like, well, I guess that wasn't.
Yeah, right.
It's true. So now this one's heating up, so I know it will work. All right. And so we'll.
Which also leads me to maybe discuss about how important it is to centrally locate your thermostat, so you're getting the right temperature.
Oh, yes, indeed. All right, so one of the things
That's important.
that Tanya is looking for right now is we have vents above, vents over here. You're supposed to have ventilation in your kitchen. You're supposed to be able to exhaust, you know, to burn your food. You exhaust that out and that sort of thing. So that's one of the things. She's also looking for what's called GFCI protection. Those are those outlets with the little buttons in the middle. As you can see, within 6 feet, we're missing. Okay? So that's one of the things. If you put your hand here, you can see that this has been modified, and so our air conditioner is coming from above. All right. So, and Paula had mentioned that they altered the heating system. So we have a gas forced air with an air conditioner.
We have gas forced air, wall heat unit, and a baseboard heat.
One
So
baseboard.
we got all three
All
going
three.
on.
Okay, good.
So we're having the electrician come in,
Okay.
and he's gonna fix everything that needs to be fixed and replace everything that needs to replace and decommission some of the things that need to be decommissioned.
Okay, good. So, and granted, it's nice to have backup heat
Yeah.
sources, that's fine. They're not necessary, but some folks prefer to keep them. some people want to get rid of it, because it's quite a large unit. Okay. If you come over here around the corner, you're going to see Tanya's in the process of filling the bathtub. And here she's going to note there's another safety issue. All right, when we check to see the vent fan is here, it is required to be here. If there was no window, this is an older home, so windows were, how do you ventilate?
Okay.
But this, because of its height relative to that tub height, this is a safety hazard. Because if I trip and put my hand through that, I cut my hand up. So that's required to be tempered glass now. Okay? So Tanya's going to identify that as a potential safety hazard.
Okay.
She's testing the hot water tank right now too, because she's filling it with just hot water.
Okay.
So if, when she's done filling that tub, let's say the temperature is at like 85 degrees, we know that hot water tank isn't creeping up. Now we're already a little suspicious of it because the cover's off, makes me wonder, did we have an element that went bad? Okay, so those are the things we're already thinking through, like, wonder what's up with that. Right?
Okay.
So she'll test that. She's already filled this. She's noted that we're missing a handle. All right? So these are simplistic things. You can see we do have the GFI right here. All right? So I just stripped it so I know it works. All right? So she's going to do that. Now, another thing that Tanya just did is she turned on another water source. If you notice, our water pressure dropped off pretty quick. All right. Now, that's not a terrible drop-off, but we kind of make a point of letting the buyer know that, okay, older plumbing, this is not unusual, that you'll have a pressure drop when you start using multiple faucets and things of that nature.
Okay.
Very typical.
Awesome.
All right. Then we'll head over here real quick. One of the bedrooms, Tanya's going to be testing the outlets as she goes through to see if they're grounded or not grounded. Not critical, only from an equipment standpoint, if we're away from the water source. But anytime we're near a water source, that does kind of become a big deal.
Yeah.
All right. And then Tanya's also going to be hazardous. She's going to try all these windows up and then operate them.
Very detailed. That's the nice thing about Dane, and I can trust him. And we've had a trusting relationship
Long
for
time, yeah.
20 years.
20 years. Yeah.
And it's just really nice to feel that comfort and be able just to have you come in and I don't have to be there.
Correct. She knows my process. She's been around. She knows what we're going to do.
Yeah, it takes about, most houses take 4 to 5 hours. And you go through it like a fine tooth comb and from top to bottom and it's golden.
Yes, and then people will feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Paula's trying to provide for her client when she makes that recommendation.
Right.
Is that, well, okay, this fellow I know is going to be thorough about the inspection. Here you can see we got a hole in the door. All right, again, all right, fine.
Yes,
It's
hole in
just
the door.
up. All right. In here, got that. Again, we'll go through room by room.
So right down there, Dean, do you see this is where they had one of the baseboard heaters. So they took this one further out of the room, but there are some in some of the other areas.
And one of the things that Tanya would have already done is this. That's hot. That's a safety hazard.
So it's hot,
Okay.
and it's not in a junction box. It looks like
Correct.
it's just up through the. So
Exactly.
we'll have to put it in a junction box in order to be safe. Get that taken care of by the electrician, and he can't actually. I've seen it where some people just try to push it through the hole, and that's the scary thing because then here comes your fire.
Right.
Right.
So what he will do is he'll put it in a junction box, and then he'll put a cap on it. So it has to be exposed for it to be legal.
Awesome.
So.
Okay.
Nobody likes fires.
You're not there.
Not indoors, anyways.
Order safety.
Yeah.
So we can probably go downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go downstairs real quick.
Okay. You go ahead and lead the way since there's a dog down there. They're large.
We okay?
Yeah, can you give me a minute though?
Sure.
Yes.
I'm gonna be leaving.
Oh, okay.
I got anxiety really bad.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Dane, you got your mace? You got your mace, your pepper
So
spray?
sometimes we have tenants,
Yes.
and we have to be compassionate about that
Mhm.
and respectable of their space. And she's going to be leaving here in a few minutes, but some people just it's hard. It's hard on them, and then this one particular has a pet involved as well. So and it's hard on her, and she's actually had anxiety really bad and hasn't been able to eat or drink anything for a few days.
Aw.
And so we do have to be careful about that.
Yeah.
And one of the things for me, having Tanya work with me now, which it never dawned on me for 20 years of doing this, but a lot of times when I come into a home where it's just a female occupant, it doesn't matter to me, but they're more comfortable with having another female on the property.
I understand.
And we've actually had this a couple of times now where they've known Tanya's available and they want her to inspect their quarters and that sort of thing.
It's kind of like a doctor, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I never
it's nice
really.
to have a nurse.
Yeah, I never considered it, but it definitely has made a difference.
Understandable.
So it's understandable. Let's, for a moment, if you don't mind, let's go outside for a second. I'm going to throw up a ladder just to show you part of the process
let's
when I
do
hit
it.
the roof. Okay?
Yeah.
And that will give that lady below an opportunity to get on out with her.
We have lots of stuff going on here. Lots
Yes.
of cable that are unnecessary. It's probably been a few different cable companies coming in here and networking systems, satellite dishes, Dish Network.
Every
And
one
they
of
don't
these.
take them down. They just leave
That's
them.
it, and it's
Hate
a
that.
real pain.
It is,
and it's
especially when you go to
unfortunate.
paint.
Right, and so one thing that is important to know, people a lot of time, well, do you know if that works? I don't know if it works, I don't care if it works, it's not part of the inspections. All that cable and telephone systems, communications, that's ancillary to the inspection. So there are certain things that I don't really care about.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of important.
I care about them because we have
You
to remove them, and
Right.
and like in this case, we're going to be painting.
Ah.
So it's kind of a painter's nightmare because they put staples and screws, and
So they literally come in and just take the whole
they
thing
have
out.
to take it all down because otherwise it's hard to spray around
Right.
or even.
And then it doesn't look good anyway once
No.
you do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we try to climb every roof. We don't necessarily. As I've gotten older, certain roof pitches I don't do anymore.
Love your ladder.
Yes, this is.
We could be doing a commercial for this ladder.
Yeah, this is an extended ladder. It is a great ladder. They're very handy to have. This particular one goes 14 and a half feet. It's rated for 330 pounds.
Watch your wires.
You always watch your wires. It's not an electrified wire, so how do you do that?
Another cable.
Yeah.
Another cable.
Another cable, thank you very
I'm
much.
not a cable fan.
So we try to climb them all
wire, not
if we feel comfortable climbing. Certain roofs I just will not climb. Like this one is easy. I've got a flat roof to get on top of, and then a relatively low pitch. So kind of when I pull up, first thing I'm looking at is the roof and how the whole property lays out.
And our concern to be that we have things that we look for is what's coming onto the roof, because that can be a factor as well. So whether the other day I was at a house and there was a bunch of it was a locust tree and a seep, and it was a fairly new roof, 30-year comp roof, and it had a bunch of moss on it.
Already.
Yeah, already. And so I was like, why does it have so much moss on it?
This is a short period of time. Yeah, and
And it was because of that reason.
And that's because of, and so, now again, from your standpoint of it, from ours, we call those out as a potential safety issue, only because it's overhanging the house. If a limb should break, it's obviously going to hit the home. And I think that's more of an insurance thing than anything, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And that,
Well, and a concern to the homeowner and the buyer because those things happen because a big branch.
correct. It could cause
Big branch, big hole.
big hole, big
Crystal
problems.
knows about those.
Oh, buddy. Woo!
Climb
Can
up
you
on
hear
the
us
ladder.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Well, I can hear you. I don't know if the audience
I
can
think
hear
that
you.
was one thing that,
We got to get a microphone.
yeah.
All right, now on this particular roof, this is a metal portion over the top.
Okay.
It's not super well supported, so I'm not going to like do a dance on here.
Oh, come on. Dean.
No, no.
Dean, Dean, Dean. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So I just come on over there and onto here. Now this is a 25-year architectural shingle roof. It'll be in the report. That's what this is, right? And in this particular roof, it's
We
not
can't hear
terribly
you. We
old.
can't hear you
Hold
very
on.
good, Dean.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there was a car in the background.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm coming.
Yeah, be safe.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Okay, we got you.
So this is a 25-year architectural shingle roof. It's not terribly old roof. Probably I'm going to put it down as between 5 and 10 years old, somewhere in that vicinity. The metal roof over the top here, which is their carport awning, is very old. Probably in the 25 to 30 year range. All that's identified in the report. The age of the metal, we're not too worried about. We're just primarily looking to see is it in good condition. And then over here, we're looking to see what's the condition of this roof. So I'll walk this whole roof, I'll look at the masthead here. If you'll notice, we have a double masthead arrangement, one here, one here. So that is because this is a duplex. So each one of the units is going to have its own power supply. And we'll open up those power panels later on and take a good look inside of them. So that's part of this. I'll be looking at that chimney for condition to make sure it's in good shape.
And the ridge cap.
And yes, the ridge along here, the ventilation, the gable vent right here. I've got a top vent, which is probably going to be for that kitchen exhaust fan that I was looking at earlier. Okay?
Okay.
Give me half a second. I'm going to run around up here.
All right.
All right.
We're going to film you running around up there.
Okay, you can do that.
I like it the fact too that Dean takes pictures of everything because he is a busy guy and he can't possibly remember all the houses that he does and what's wrong with them, you know. So he's very detailed and takes pictures so it can remind himself of what's going on and what house it was. So
Absolutely.
pictures are very important.
Worth 1,000 words. Hey, I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
Right.
Sticky.
You did it because you don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you got me. Sticky notes are my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost him. He's on the other side. Oh, there he is.
So the nice thing about him, he goes everywhere. There's not a place that he doesn't go. I've had houses. I've had this one little house on 3rd Street in Clarkston, and it had a little teeny tiny crawl space. And they were financing FHA, and FHA requirements require 18 inches from the bottom of the floor joist to the ground. So the clearance was a little under that, and so he literally squeezed in there and went through the whole entire. And he has this little monkey suit thing that he puts on.
A monkey suit. We need to see that.
Yeah, I don't think it's hairy or anything. Now I know what to get him for Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
done.
It's just he looks like he's and comes out of the white room, but it's black. When he gets out of there, it's white. But he goes in there. He charges just a little extra to do that. But he's the kicker is he's willing.
Dean.
Yes.
Paula says that you have a monkey suit. Can we please see that on?
Yeah, you'll get to see the monkey.
We really want to see the monkey suit.
Yeah, I'm heading for the attic. I'll show you the monkey.
Oh, yay! All right.
Said I don't want to get it for Christmas.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Okay, I'm coming.
He's a good guy. So he's kind of went over above and beyond several times for me. Anyways, I'm sure he's done it for everybody, but it's nice to get in the crawl space because sometimes the access is really bad and the clearance is really shallow, and so that is the nice thing about him being able to do that. And even though he doesn't like it, sometimes we have to do some things we don't really.
That's right. Yep.
What'd you find?
That is your old roof.
Oh, is it a double layer?
So that's telling me that they stripped this roof down to one layer, which is good.
Oh, that's good.
Good news.
So that's kind of
It
like
didn't
what
look
we
like a
wanna
double
see.
layer. I can't really see everything from up here.
Now, one of the things we look for is how many layers. The code, again, not a code inspection, but the code provides that you cannot exceed 2 layers of roof.
And financing purposes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go for that. But on some of these really, really old homes, I've seen as many as 5 layers of roof.
Wow.
And that is a structural problem. Because you're putting all those thousands of pounds on the roof system. It was not designed to carry that kind of a load.
Right.
Yeah,
so
wow.
Some kind of a big deal there. Let's take this. You're still here, right?
Yeah, but we can go ahead and go down. I think we're okay. This is still.
Okay.
There's not
Okay. Good.
So we're going to go downstairs since this is a duplex, and we'll just go over a few things down there that Dean can point out to you.
Found
We
that.
okay, Lisa? Okay.
She's getting ready to walk out the door. Okay.
Well, we could do the monkey suit now if you wanted.
All right. Let me.
Are you going to put
Did
the
you-
mask on?
Yeah, did you-
I haven't found the access to the.
Okay, so
I-
we're
I'm
gonna look
still
real
looking.
quick.
The access to the
Okay.
attic is
Yeah.
right around the corner down the hallway to your right.
Okay, I just
Okay,
think
so
that's
I'm
a really
gonna
weird
grab my
spot.
ladder.
They
Right.
usually have them in the closets. But this one has, sometimes the houses in the 60s, I'm not sure why, but it's over here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So it's got we got a nice spot for you to climb up and
Oh wow, look at that.
Yes, that's a nice.
you might not even need a ladder, maybe just a
Yeah, I
step.
think not.
Dean might not even have to suck it in.
Okay. Well, hang on, don't get you up
I'm just gonna push it.
You're gonna push it up.
See what's up there.
So these are the fun things that we get to experience. And
Right.
There's always something new. And we get to work with all kinds of cool
At
people.
180 degrees in the summer.
Yeah. At least it's early.
So what's the most entertaining thing you found in the attic?
Attic, not so bad, but the spiders, obviously, but crawl space, dead cats, sadly. 5 in one
Snakes.
day.
Oh my
Snakes,
gosh,
spiders,
snakes.
mice.
I know Dean found a snake one time.
Yeah,
right
the
straight
attic's
in.
not too bad though. There's usually not much up here. The heating system's in this one though, so it makes it a little bit harder to test the system, the air conditioning and heat system if it's in the attic. It's just, harder to get to.
All right.
So you can see it's up here. This one's been serviced in June of 2017, but we'll actually take the cover off of it and check all of the condensers to make sure they're working, check the filter, and check all the electrical parts to it, test the amps and that kind of thing to make sure they're all kicking on.
Okay,
So
awesome,
we'll be doing
awesome.
that. We check insulation, the depth of the insulation. We're looking at the rafters. We're looking for any evidence of mold. We're looking at structure to see how it's built to make sure there's no notches out of any of the support systems, trusses and our rafters. We're looking at the sheeting, which is the underneath side of your roof to make sure that it's not delaminated and that it's in good condition. So, and then, let's see, what else? Any plumbing that's up here, we're also looking for any handyman wiring. If it's an old home, knob and tube wiring that would be unsafe.
Because a lot of times they'll keep the knob and tube in there. So and
Yes.
sometimes it's
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, here we go. We got Dean.
Dean's in the monkey suit.
There you go.
All right, he's going in.
We're heading up there right now. And as Tanya pointed out, there is a furnace up there. We'll check it out a bit.
So sometimes in the attic and the crawl space as well, we have all kinds of different types of chemicals going on, and some formaldehyde. We have asbestos,
Molds.
mold.
We
Yeah,
always look
mold.
for
That's a
molds.
big concern these days. Molds now. Some people vented their dryer up into the attic and didn't extend it through the attic. They just vented it to the attic, and then which creates mold. And we have that's a big moisture damage in the
We're
attic.
also
sometimes.
looking for ventilation to make sure it's adequately ventilated. Often we find homes that have inadequate ventilation. So
Right,
when
and
we're
it's
there, we're
easy to
checking
put.
that.
It's easy to fix those things.
Yes.
I mean,
Tanya, you
it's
want to pass that ladder
a
up?
few bucks, and we can just about fix or repair anything that's out there. We've been through it enough that we can make it happen for everybody and make it safe environment for everybody, and no health issues.
That's the element there.
Yeah.
He's going
So
in.
there he goes. Dean Kamiko said his best.
If we hear any screams, we'll know there's something scary up there.
I asked him if 20 years he'd ever found a dead body, and he said, no, not yet.
Well, that's good.
That's because they
Thank
bury.
goodness.
That's because they bury him in the concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going in. Oh, Crystal's going in. All right. Okay.
I'm nice and dirty.
She goes.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't even know. Oh, it's too dark.
You need my light?
Way down there at the end is a fan, which I'm going to head over there to see that it actually works. That's
Got a better one.
attic fan, so I have to see if it's operational. I'll be back.
I'm pretty sure that this job could be on the show Dirty Jobs.
Right.
Just saying.
Especially in the
Most
in
Yeah.
of the crawl
I'm
space.
pretty sure.
I was in one this
This qualifies.
Right there. And the entry to it, I could barely get it. So it's just amazing as if you were a big home.
They don't. That's one of those. Yeah.
All right, he's coming back.
Okay, so he'll be up there for quite a while, and he might be coming down now. He's probably, so Dean goes, when he goes up into the attic, there's lots of things that he's looking for. Any structural damage, any broken trusses, any water damage or ventilation issues. Making sure that the proper insulation, your attic's insulated with the proper insulation. Dean, what's the R factor?
Up here, we're probably about an R19.
So we're, and our,
38 is what's recommended.
so we're a little short on the.
What does R19 mean?
So R19 is the thickness of the insulation.
Okay.
And you're supposed to have R38 in your attic.
Oh.
So we're about half capacity. And so it would be, he's going to recommend for some more insulation to be put on top of that so it equals an R38.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it keeps your heat in, your cooling, and it makes everything run and function.
Lower
properly.
power bill.
Lower power bill. That's
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Cha-ching.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah. What kind of insulation in that kind of situation do people normally do? Like the blow-in kind, or?
It kind of depends on what's already existing. So usually we have it glued in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little easier if you're putting it on top of it, and also it's easier in an attic to glue it in.
Gotcha.
So, and there's all kinds of insulation out there that they have. You can buy it at your local anchor stores like Home Depot, and
Awesome.
But there's also companies that and they're pretty inexpensive. I mean, and good savings too. Like if you have the right R factor, so you want to make sure that your insulations are accurate and what they're supposed to be. Otherwise, you're just losing air. You're just losing heat and
Right.
air out your attic. And it is amazing what it does. It just goes up and out. So he'll make sure the proper ventilation so it keeps everything in and
Right.
nice and tight. But let's go downstairs.
Okay,
real
yeah,
quick.
let's do
And-
it.
Hey, Dean. Well,
Dean, we're headed downstairs. He can't hear us.
No, he can't
he's
hear
in the
us.
monkey suit.
So-
We'll let her know
Yeah.
to relay the message.
Yes, sir.
You want to go downstairs with us? Dean's kind of busy in the attic and kind of show us a little few things.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
We're gonna be looking
The holder, that's all right.
downstairs. So this is a duplex situation, and it's upstairs, downstairs.
So we want to make sure we have a handrail anytime there's over 3 steps.
Want to make sure, I don't know if you heard that, you want to make sure you have a handrail if there, anytime it's over 3 steps.
Okay, handrail, check. Got it. Check, check.
Talked about it, but one of the things we check always is to make sure the outlets are grounded with our electric tester, and then we're also checking to see whether or not there's ground fault breakers within 6 foot of water so that you don't have any potential of getting shocked.
And you know what I find a lot, and he always finds it, it doesn't matter, even on new construction.
Oh,
We have a reverse polarity
all
somewhere.
the time.
All the
Yes,
time.
That's
So-
a very common, very,
Yes.
very common.
And
thing.
people think, what is that? You know, so
Yeah.
maybe you can tell us.
Well,
Explain what that is.
reverse polarity is actually just where they've wired the neutral and the hot wires in the outlet incorrectly. And so that can be dangerous.
Which is a common thing for
It's
people,
very common.
homeowners to do because they don't.
They
a lot
don't
of them,
know,
just put
and
them-
they don't.
They don't know what they're doing.
Together and they don't know what they're doing. Yes, handyman wiring and handyman plumbing are pretty common.
Yeah.
So we check down
Well, you try
here.
to save a buck where you can.
Right, that's exactly. They're pretty common.
Leave it to Paula to stick up for the handyman.
Now, sometimes
I'm with
that
Paula.
costs More, so we fill the sinks and drain them. I'll have to move the dishes, which is also kind of common. At least hers are in soapy water. I often have to move dirty dishes.
At least you don't have to do them.
Yeah, exactly. So we fill them all the way up, and that's to put enough pressure on the line so that even the tiniest leak will show when we drain them. So we're not only looking, but we're feeling
For any
in
leaks and-
for any leaks, no matter how small. And I think we talked about that you turn on all the appliances to test them to make sure they work. You have a little thermometer, gadget, lots of tools in this trade that we use.
I like your vest. It has lots of pockets.
Yes,
So
this
it's
is
like
for
a
all my
fisherman.
tools.
This is a fisherman's
Yes.
vest, or is this
Actually,
an
it's a
instructor's
tactical vest, so I ordered it because we have to carry so many different things.
Oh.
So this is our little tester that we use just to make sure when I turn this on that the oven's heating properly. We also use this to check in the air conditioning systems to be sure that we have the correct temperature differential between the intake, which is not there, it's usually in the hall. I think it's upstairs in this one. So we use this same little tester for that. Then,
I love gadgets.
Yes, we have lots of gadgets. We have our gas detector, so in homes, which this one will be one, where we have gas heat, we'll also test for carbon monoxide and leaks. So we test all
And
the
there
lines for
are.
gas.
I mean, how often do you find those?
We find
You
gas
find-
leaks pretty often.
You know,
yes.
they usually
That's
put a
scary.
chemical in there, so
Yes.
you can smell it because you typically can't smell gas.
Interestingly, that came about since I'm in Texas. I have to tell you the story. There's a small town in East Texas called New London, and sadly, back in the 20s, a school actually exploded there and killed the whole building and killed several hundred children. That brought about the gas odor, the odor that they put in gas.
Well,
Yes,
that was
from
really-
New London,
that was
Texas.
brilliant. Probably
So,
saved a lot of
yeah,
lives.
saved a lot of lives. So we test for that. Let's see, what else?
People don't. A lot of people don't know that smell.
They
It's
don't.
kind of a rotten egg smell.
Yeah, they just think something's
You smell
ruined in
rotten
their
eggs.
kitchen.
You probably have a gas leak.
Yes,
You have a
you
big
need to
cooker.
check for sure. And it often is where they've installed a stove themselves, like a heater, and then again, handyman, they just didn't quite get it tight enough or sealed off, and so then we'll find small leaks. Haven't found any really big ones yet. We sometimes find floods. We went to do a house not too long ago that was a duplex like this one. Walked downstairs and there was about 8 inches of water greeting us at the bottom of the
Oh,
stairs.
that's not
Oh,
good.
no.
Completely flooded. Well, it was empty, so thank
Oh, they
God
didn't
we
know.
came because the leak was still going.
Oh no.
And so Dean and I waited the water, immediately shut it off, and called the owners and said there was a
We
pipe
have
burst and it was back. Yeah, it was going
Darn.
everywhere.
Yeah, dang it.
So we see that every once in a while when it's really cold out.
Right, exactly. We test all the wall heaters. Anytime there's wall heaters, again, we're testing outlets. Open and close all the windows to make sure that the windows open and close properly. Sometimes they get bound up and they'll look really nice like new windows, but they won't open at all. And sometimes if they're the kind that raise vertically, the little springs in them will drop down. It can be a brand new window, but they won't open because the spring has dropped down in that particular unit. So we're looking for that.
And sometimes when they don't open, there's little tricks of the trade that you can do.
Yes, we fix them a lot of times.
Yeah.
We know how to put the little springs back in place, so often we just take the time and go ahead and fix those.
That's really
That's
nice.
very
Easier
nice.
to do that than just call it
You can
out.
throw some vegetable or some beeswax on the track,
Yes,
you know, to
and
make it slide a
and,
little
and
easier.
our furniture polish works
Furniture polish,
excellent just to make it work. Yeah,
Yeah.
make it slide a little easier. And people don't know that, so they don't use that. We test smoke detectors to see if they're working. 3 times
working.
so that it sets it off, so that one's working
All
fine
right.
in there. We look for cracks such as this. This one's been patched over. This is an older home, so it's a settling crack. We don't get too worried about those, but if you start seeing a lot of step cracks, then that's a concern with the foundation. But when they're just these, those are typically just settling cracks.
Little hairline fractures
Yeah,
we
so we
find
don't- yeah, and we don't worry
often
about
in
those.
lots of places.
because
and,
those are just, they can easily be patched and
but when they start cracking horizontal and vertical and horizontal and vertical,
Yes,
it's a
then
big
you're
concern. There's
worried
something
about
going
that,
on with
worried
your
about
foundation.
Exactly. Let's see, I think we talked about, let's see, in the washer, dryer, laundry room. Same thing, we're checking outlets, we're checking the water. We run any units that are going to be left behind to make sure they work properly. Again, I think we talked about we fill up the tub, same thing, drain it, but we don't drain it until we're in the crawl space. And the purpose of that obviously is to see if there's a leak leaking into your crawl space underneath your house.
Interesting.
We don't want that. That creates mold.
Yeah.
We always check if this is within 60 inches of the tub to make sure there's safety glass there. So I'll be taking that loose so I can look in there, looking for mold. If people don't run their vents when they're in the bathroom taking a shower, and kids are the world's worst about that, you'll end up with all kinds of mold.
And it's black mold.
And it's black.
And
often,
it goes
yes,
black
it can
lung.
be very dangerous.
You don't want black
yes.
mold.
And so you want to be sure you're always using your vent fan in the bathroom. It's an easy thing to not turn it on. People think they're too noisy, but it creates moisture problems and mold.
So I have a question
Always
about mold you may or may not know. So like you said, when you take a shower, and it's real common for the condensation to get at the top of the shower, and it's like a brown kind of mold.
Right.
If you can wipe it off with bleach and it doesn't come back, is that black mold, or is it only black mold if it continues to come back? Like, how do you tell?
You only know that by testing. There are molds everywhere. They're naturally occurring in our environment. There's no way truly to know, even if it's black colored. People say, oh, well, it's black, so it's black mold. No. You have to test it. Stachyboris is the black mold, but it actually has to be tested to tell if that's really what it is. A misnomer, and I'm glad you brought that up, is that bleach kills it. Bleach will wipe it off. Bleach does not kill the mold spores. And people do that all the time thinking, oh, I got rid of it, I wiped it down with bleach. The reason it comes back, you didn't kill it.
Right.
You have mold spores. So it has to be tested to tell what kind it is. And Dean and I are both certified to do mold testing, but it is
So what's a good
test.
way? That might be a good thing to discuss. What's a good way to get rid of the mold?
Yeah, how do you get rid of
Because
the
I know
mold?
that why do you use kills?
You can use kills, but there are also products that are particular for mold to get rid of and kill mold. And if you have mold in the attic, you always want to get a mold specialist to come and take care of that for you. And there are several local guys in town that do mold remediation. So if it's in the attic, it's tested, and for sure it's mold, then you want a mold remediation team to come in and get rid of that. Inside, you can use kills and some other, there's a number of different names of products on the market that will actually kill the mold, but bleach does not kill it.
Yeah.
Removes it, but does not kill it.
Are they products that anyone can buy, like at Home Depot? Or okay,
Yes, they
yeah.
are. But if it's in the attic, you want an actual
Right,
mold
okay.
remediation
It was
specialist.
Got it.
pointing out there.
Dean, you're back with us.
I'm back.
And he's back.
And I'm back. And one thing that Tanya just pointed out, really important, is the misbelief that bleach will kill your mold. It will not.
Yeah, I believe that as well.
Yes,
I learn
and
something new every day.
Correct, and that is not a true thing. And then the mold remediation companies use chemicals you can't buy. All right, and so that's the big reason why I just tell folks, look, you need to meet a mold remediating company. They're going to buy the chemicals they use. We can't buy. They're professionals. That's what they use. It kills the mold. When they do the process, they're going to kill it, and then they're going to seal it with a biocide type of product that prevents it from reinfecting. And a key element is to take care of what created your problem. Mold's everywhere at all times. God created it that way. So it's the big cleaner. It cleans our environment, right? But when it becomes excessive, then it becomes toxic, then it harms us.
Hey, I gotta interrupt you for a second.
Yes.
Thank you for giving credit to God. Awesome.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome,
Well,
Dean.
He's the creator.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so in that process, when that is done, what they're going to do is, okay, part of what Tanya are going to do, we're going to identify what created the problem. Because since the mold is everywhere all the time, okay, so we know
Let's
that.
walk out there so we don't
Right.
that flash.
Right, since mold's there, the mold spores are everywhere all the time. We're breathing, right?
Right.
We always do, 24/7. That's normal. All right, so what's going on? How does this become a problem for us? The next thing that'll happen is, so the mold spore is present. It's looking for an organic substrate. Wood, paper, anything, okay?
Anything coarse.
Exactly, anything porous. And so it's hanging around, and it's waiting for the third element, water, right? Just like any plant. So now, if we're
Give
gonna-
me some moisture.
it needs the moisture. And so we, the humans, we provide the moisture just by living. Okay? We're expelling
We're
moisture
the
all the time.
culprit.
We're it. So we put it up. Well, so this house here, I just went up in the attic. The bathrooms and the kitchens are exhausting into the attic.
Nice.
Okay? And
Okay.
real common.
Common.
Now, thankfully, I saw no evidence of mold. So, thankfully. Part of the reason is because this is an older home.
with old wood, which is very dense and less likely to form the mold issue, even though spores will be there, but because as you poured it out, porosity is the key element there.
Yes.
It's so dense it has a hard time to take a root.
Right.
Okay? So even though they've been pumping all that moisture up there, they got lucky. Plus they have really good ventilation up there.
Okay.
All right, so in this case, we got lucky. Yeah,
Woo!
it can be an extremely expensive repair.
Yes.
All right, so part of what we do, we identify the source of what created our problem.
Yeah.
The
And then
mold
we gotta come in
and then poor agents.
Poor agents.
Yeah, poor Paula has to
Yes.
explain to everybody. what's
We got,
happening.
And
we got
poor-
an issue.
And poor lenders. Don't be
And
leaving
poor
me
lenders.
out now. Poor
Oh,
lenders.
and poor lender is
Everybody's involved.
Right, exactly. It becomes a big deal.
We
Yeah.
get an issue we need to
But
fix.
what I like to explain to people, and Paula alluded to it earlier, there's nothing that cannot be repaired. It's called time and money.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that's,
effort.
and the effort involved. But it can all be fixed, and I've been explaining that for 20 years. People get like, oh my God.
Don't freak
you know,
out. I always give them a heads up. We're going to find stuff. There's
Right.
nothing that, even in a new construction, look how many new constructions we've done. And there's things.
And
we
there's a
were-
list.
A list.
Right.
Yeah, always.
And so, and that's an important thing. People have this crazy idea that somehow their home is going to be perfect. I hate to clue you in, but it's not.
No.
It doesn't exist. You know, it's even brand new construct. I used to be a general contractor prior to become a home inspector, and as good a job as I did, and watching my man and everybody, we're human, so there's going to be moves.
That's right. We make
Just the way
mistakes.
It happens.
It's going to happen. So,
Yep.
so that's the important thing. The mold can be addressed. It can be remediated. It's an expensive process, yes, granted. But it can be taken care of, so nobody needs to run away on a transaction. Just, oh, mold, end of the world. No,
Yeah.
it's just going to be the seller's expense.
Or the buyer.
Or
It
the
depends
buyers.
on the purchase.
Okay, and
It
that's
depends on the negotiations.
yeah, that's the part of the deal that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Paula handles all that stuff. I just give her the bad news. And then she-
Yeah.
And then I walk away and go like,
And I'm like, thanks, Steve.
yeah.
You're the bearer of bad news.
I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you.
We have a love-hate relationship.
I'm the bearer of bad news. You're the bearer of bad news.
Did you guys go with that power panel in the back?
We have not, and I would like to because I haven't actually opened it up. I opened the other one.
Let's take a look.
All right. Well, let's see what this is about. So is Lovely here or?
She is not. She
They have
took her.
departed.
Okay, so we're safe.
So we're good.
We don't need to get out the pepper spray. We're good. All right.
You might
Right, so
want to go
over
ahead
here,
and go over there a little bit. so
From a
you can see
distance,
it.
you're gonna know there's a champion, so I already
Okay.
know I was gonna be okay on the power panel.
Okay.
And so they've got some of the breakers off. We'll have to figure out they're 240 volt on this one here. Probably have one of the space heaters, wall heaters off or something like that. We're gonna open this up in a little bit. It is heat, so a wall heater's turn off someplace. And so when we open this power panel up and the other power panel, that's when I'm gonna look for the condition of the wires that are in the home. All right, so
So when was that installed?
this, even though I know you see this sticker here, that doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily coincide with the brand new panel, but somebody was in here in 1999.
1999. Okay.
So that's fine. It's, you know, it's a near 20-year-old panel, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And the Champions are a good panel. Some electricians aren't crazy about them. I've never really seen problems with them. I'd love to have a Siemens everywhere I went, but that's not going to be the case. And
I'm glad
we
it's
do
not a
good.
Federal Pacific.
Yes,
So we just have to replace
One.
one.
Just one.
one panel to go.
Because they're a little. I mean, it's a ticket.
Well, yeah, it's generally around here. You're looking at about $1,500 to $1,800.
Did you say it's a ticket?
Yeah, ticket.
It's a ticket.
It's a ticket.
It's a ticket.
It's money.
Yeah, it's money. It's a ticket.
Dean's issuing tickets.
Yes.
Paula's paying the tickets.
Now, one of the things we haven't seen yet, there's a crawl space over on this side, and I've still to figure
Oh,
out.
under the laundry room?
Yep.
Is that what that moved?
Mhm.
Oh.
And so I haven't seen where the access is just yet.
Okay.
At some point, maybe Tanya will come across it, or I'll come across
Maybe
it.
that's the access.
That's going to be a wire access, wire chase.
To the
She
wire.
wants me to go in the tiniest hole.
I was just gonna say
That
she
guy
is
set
bound
that up.
and
I know
determined
this.
to
That's
get you to crawl in the smallest possible hole in this house.
He's been in little about this.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a really dinky hole.
he's like a mouse. If you can get your head in
Yeah.
and your
He's good.
I'm going.
He's going.
She knows that. They're like, oh my God, he's going to go in that hole. I
Ah.
can't believe it. All right, so let's see here.
So
There's some, is that a window or
I don't
is that
know.
a crawl space access? Okay. we're going to at
We'll have to
some
look outside.
point try to figure that
I'm
out.
wondering if the access is outside.
I hope so, because I'm really gonna have a problem if that's where it's at.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up, I think,
Okay.
and thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to us, and meeting Dean and Tanya, and it's been an awesome day. Thank you for
You're welcome.
coming.
Yes,
Thanks
thank you,
for being
Dean.
here as well. Appreciate
We
that.
appreciate
Filming.
everything that you do.
Sure.
I
And
know
any
it's not
questions? You
easy
just
sometimes.
yeah. Well, yeah. Some days are really challenging, but,
Right.
but this is actually a pretty normal inspection. You know,
Yeah.
nothing like way over the top. Nothing super bad. We still have foundation to look at and some other things, but structurally, so far, what we've seen is pretty sound place, and you've got just your kind of your standard home stuff.
Right.
You know,
Little
so
things we can address.
yeah,
and
things that'll be
nothing too
taken
major.
care of, nothing too major. They'll have to take the vents out through the roof and things of that nature. But so far, from my side of
And
it,
that's a couple $100
good
bucks,
place.
so not a
Correct, not a lot of
big
money.
ticket.
correct, not big, little tiny.
I like
ticket.
them out as like tickets.
Should I run around with a little red light? No?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
right. No, we're not going to do that. I got the little red stickers. That's enough. I
Yeah.
got enough people going. Okay, so hey, that's it. Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
okay.
Thank you for
Coming to
Yes.
you live.
yeah.
Keep it real.
Keep
Keep it real.
All
Keep it
right.
real estate. Thanks for watching, you guys.
Thank you.